Hello, hello, hello. This is, I don't know, what is this? The ultimate Tubular Bells. Tubular. How many copies of Tubular Bells do you need? He says, reaching around for the various copies of Tubular. How many copies of Tubular Bells do you need? How many? He said, and that's without the vinyls. He says that's without the vinyl. How many? I've not really thought about this. Wait a minute, I'm not even dressed properly. Jesus, not even dressed. If you're going to do it, Dan, at least dress for the part. I mean, that's better. Let's get the right t-shirt. Something for the mums. There we go. That's better. That's better. We're ready now. I think we're ready. Again, we only had one chance of getting that right. Otherwise, it would have all gone wrong. Tubular Bells. Last month, I didn't bother doing it because I don't care. Tubular Bells. It was the anniversary. It was the 50th anniversary of Tubular Bells, and nobody cares. No one cares, and neither should you. For it was released on the 25th of May 1973, recorded between November 1972 and April 73, when Mike Oldfield was a mere 19 years old. Yeah, and that's it. That's the story. It's the story that launched Richard Branson, Virgin Records. Without Tubular Bells, there'd have been no Virgin Trains, no Virgin Atlantic, no Virgin Space, whatever, nothing. There'd have been no Virgin Money. There would have been no Virgin Wines. There'd be nothing. There would be no Virgin for. We need the Tubular Bells. The Tubular Bells. We need them. And the album took its name from the way Vivian Stanshall said Tubular Bells. Vivian Stanshall, singer, leader, co-conspirator of the Bonzo Dog Doodah band, was hoisted in as MC during the last section on the first side of the album. And Mike Oldfield was quite taken with his enunciation of the words Tubular Bells, and so it was coined for the album title. And you have this which version do you want to look at? Which version is there? There are many versions. I'm going to try and work my way through, or maybe I should work backwards. I don't know. There are many versions. Many versions. There are many versions. Again, iconic. The iconic artwork designed by Trevor Key, and yeah, it's what we know. So that's it. Now, maybe, oh God, I'm looking at all this stuff, and I don't know what to start with. Shall I start with the 50th anniversary? Yeah, let's start with the 50th anniversary stuff. And well, the two big heavy hitters with that is the surround sound Atmos thing that came out. Again, this is, I've got to balance this all on my lap. I don't know why you're bothering. No one's going to watch this. So you got that, which is in the old Blu-ray audio high fidelity thing, and yeah, you get a disc. You get a nice little booklet which tells you, all about the things. It's got some words in it. You can't really see the words because I've got the lights too bright. Yeah, and it's in Dolby Atmos. And there's Mike Oldfield there. Again, it's got the 2023 Dolby Atmos mix by David Coston, 2009 remix in 5.1 from Oldfield himself, the quad mix from 75, and yeah, you've also got some stereo audio mixes as well. Pause it, you can read it because I don't really want to read it all out. myself. There wasn't a Tubular Bells 4 full intro in Atmos. Atmos, as we all know, is largely a complete and utter waste of time. No, it is really. No one's interested in it. It's been pushed by like Apple and whoever's. Is it Sony? I don't know. I don't know who's behind it, but it's largely a format that no one's interested in because nobody is interested in Blu-ray. You know, in discs, and they're not interested in buying loads of speakers for their home setup. So yeah, it's not that good. They can't give this stuff away. And then you have the vinyl release, and the vinyl release is, I think, is probably the most worthwhile version. For we have the original mix in a half-speed master, and then on record 2 we've got the intro, the full demo, and the music for the opening ceremony of London 2012 Olympic Games. Tubular X, which is what he did for Tubular. He did a version of Tubular Bells for the X-Files, and then there's the Mike Oldfield York remix and Mike Oldfield single thing from Tubular Bells. So it's a very complete. It's a very complete thing. Oh, I also got, there was a little print that they included, which is all right. It's all right, he said. And there you go again. And I do believe there'd be is there a booklet or something? Yeah, there's it's not a booklet, it's a piece of paper for you to read. What do they call that? An insert. They call it an insert, don't they? The dog's moving around. Are you happy now? Are you happy? So yeah, I mean the standout pieces on here was the demo to Tubular Bells 4, which again is growing on me. It's growing on me as I listen to it more, but it's still, again, it is only a demo. It's not the finished article, so you can't really judge it, I feel. And of course the music from the 2012 Olympic Games, which was previously released as a 12-inch EP. I don't think I've got it down here. I'll have to go and get it and show you, because I bought that back in the day because I thought it'd be a nice little document for the Olympics. Wait there, I won't be a minute. I'll edit it out. That's what you get for being unprepared. Yeah, it was released as this back in 2012. And again, this is when vinyl wasn't really no one was kind of interested in vinyl. And so it was a cool little release. Though you can't really read. Let me adjust my lighting. I think I have my lights too bright. Let me turn it down a bit. There we go. Let's see it a bit better now. And oops, but then I'm all orange. See, new lighting, you see. Now it's messed up me white balance. Oh no, that's no good, is it? You don't want your white balance messed up. But what's interesting is it's in blue and purple kind of splatter. Look at that. But you don't need to worry about this because this ended up being quite limited. Again, I didn't buy it as a limited thing. I bought it because I thought it'd be a nice memory of the Olympics held in London, you see. And oh my God, I've touched it now, so it's ruined. So there we go. So there you go. That's a little thing, little Tubular Bells nugget that nobody else has probably showed you. So there you go. Come here, get a little bit extra, didn't you? It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. So yeah, of the releases, of course, CD. You might as well pick up CD because it's cheap. But if you're in the vinyl thing, you might as well get the vinyl. You might as well get the vinyl thing. Now, previously, they did the half-speed mastering before, and that's what this is. And because there was they did it was as a, well, I don't think it was a hard half-speed, but it was a deluxe edition. And what you've got on there is the 2009 stereo mixes and the original 73 remix as well. So, you know, oh, it was half-speed. Look, it's on the it's on the fake Obi strip. It is. So yeah, when they talk about half-speed, there's half-speed mastering everywhere. It's everywhere, and you get again the same old story replicated in the middle there. I don't think there's anything else to show. Oh yeah, the inner bags are taken from the 2009 box set. Yeah, that's what you get in the 2009 box set. I haven't got that anymore. I sold it because I had all these bits and bobs, and it was a bit of overkill. And then you get that, the slightly different working of the back artwork there, which is nice. I mean, it's a good release, but I must admit, the new 73 pressing that they've done, it sounds really good. It really does sound good. I think it sounded very open and more detailed than any other version I've heard. But that's just my opinion. You may have a different opinion, and guess what? That's fine. That's fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. So that was that. So that's recently. So we work backwards, and then I suppose we have this. This was again a cut down version of the 2009 box set. There's a video for that. Maybe I'll link it at the end of this, where I do an unboxing of that gurgle. And this was a deluxe edition. I can't remember when it was released now. 2000. Yes, it's 2009. But was this actually released in 2009? Ping. No eBay. I do not want to buy stuff. I'm busy. And you get the you get all the stuff again. You know, you get all the stuff. There you go. And it opens outwards. And there's a booklet, I'm sure. So this is more. I think this is more just Darren. This is more just like a show and tell. And this is the booklet that you got with the 2009 box set, but kind of put into a into a little CD booklet, which is nice. And again, you've got the 5.1 surround sound mix, the open second house recording of them doing it live with a multitude of very famous musicians of the time back in Oldfield Up, which is a delight to watch. It really is, even though it's on scuzzy old video from 1973. But yeah, you also get the album in 5.1, including the Vivian Stanshall version of the Sailor's Hornpipe in 5.1, which is nice. So yeah, it's a good little collection to get. He says we're working backwards. We'll carry on. This is oh god, when was this brought out? Oh god, 2001. So no, that comes later. Wait a minute. So this one's next. This is Tubular Bells 2003, and this is something that we tend to forget about. We forget about this because for some reason, what was the anniversary? 30th? Yeah, that 30th anniversary. 93. Yeah, 30th anniversary. Take my shoes and socks off next when I run out of fingers. Oldfield decided to re-record the album because he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with it. And I'm going to talk about that. And it's a peculiar confection. This was on, again, DVD audio. This is when DVD audio was they started doing things like this back in the day, trying to get people into multi-channel audio, and it's very strange. It's like meeting an old friend and they've had cosmetic surgery, and they kind of look like your old friend, but you know, they've got an ear over ear and their nose is like that, and they talk with a funny accent. But yeah, for some reason, Mike Oldfield thought it was a really good idea to re-record it. The interesting thing is he does talk in detail about the hardware that he uses, the computers, the guitars, everything, and that's fascinating if you're a bit of a dweeb. And I'm a bit of a dweeb. I can't help it. It's just the way I was born. You know, I was born a dweeb, and so that's interesting. But the problem with the recording and the whole thing is it's just not Tubular Bells. It is, but it isn't. It isn't. And I know that sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but if you followed me, you know I'm like that. I have this contradictory nature. It was an interesting idea, a brave idea, but an ultimately futile idea. And this is why I think re-recording classic albums is a waste of time, because you know, the technology of the time, you know, the person of the time, the microphones, the tape, it all adds a certain ambience to the recordings. And this is the problem with these Atmos mixes and the surround sound mixes, is when you pull Tubular Bells apart, I think you lose some of the charm of it. I think it is a stereo album. It should have a little bit of it's got a warmth to it. It is homespun. It is a guy, you know, with his, I can imagine he's got his shoes off, you know, socks on the back of the chair, and he's recording this alone, you know, and it's very, you know, it has that homemade feel. I'm going to say home a lot, feel to it. And I think when you start pulling it apart and you subject it to Atmos mixes and surround sound mixes, you do notice the joins, you do notice the overlaps and the fluffed bits and the bits that are slightly out of time, and whereas when it's in a stereo mix and everything's laid on top, it's perfect. But when you pull it apart, you notice the imperfections, and I have a problem with that. But again, back in the day, this is 2001. This is SACD. This is an SACD of said album, and is a. Oh God, I wish the writing wasn't so small. Why is the writing so small? I can't read that. But it's a surround sound mix, and it comes with a little promotional booklet about SACD and why it's so wonderful. Oh, isn't it a shame? No one wanted it. It arrives just a little bit too late. For by this time, everyone was getting into. Now that's peculiar. Look, that is not a booklet. And look, that is a sleeve. Look, and what comes out is that, yeah, and some bits of paper with writing on. Again, incredibly small. Talking about the remasters, some words from Phil Newell, the 4-channel surround mix. And Simon Hayworth writes something as well, and yeah, it's very, very small. No one can read it. Again, this goes back to the quad mix that was originally done back in '75. So again, it's not totally pulled apart like the Atmos mix does. It's still a little bit more. If you're looking for like a more homely surround sound mix, this is like the quad mix, but done as an SACD 5.1 thingy. And yeah, I mean it's nice enough. It's all right. It's okay. But again, this is a throwback now because nobody wanted SACD, and it's just people like me who who pick up these things and listen to them. I do this so you don't have to, and yeah, unfortunately you can't get everything back in because it's too tight. But there you go. That was from 2001. Unusual that it came out, but a long time ago. Again, this is for people who are not in the UK. This is for people who are not familiar with the machinations of the media. Mind you, even young folk might not realise this, because I've forgotten just how time has passed. Time has passed on, but there was a period, crikey, maybe 15, 20 years ago, when newspapers used to bundle DVDs and CDs on the Sunday editions. I've got loads of I've got some Doctor Who ones, like DVDs over there, but I've got there's a Jean-Michel Jarre one I've got on the shelf, and some other albums that they did as specials, and one of them was again Tubular Bells. I think there was a Peter Gabriel one, there was a Genesis one that came out, and again it was given away with the Daily Mail. Boo hiss, Daily Mail. Boo. What do you mean boo hiss? It's Daily Mail giving you a copy of Tubular Bells. How cool is that? In this groovy paper sleeve. And look, it's a little picture sleeve on the inside. And this really annoyed Mike Oldfield when it came out, because he thought that it devalued his music because it was given away. But again, you've got to remember, this was when everyone was kind of getting a bit bored with CDs, and everything has got this, we're talking about the very first faltering steps of streaming and downloads and Apple Music and whatnot. So yeah, there we are. That's some of the Mike Oldfield Tubular Bells crap I've got. And yeah, this is like my ultimate Tubular Bells thing. I mean, if I was smart, I'd have edited in the footage from that box set, but I'm not smart. This is just stuff I have to hand at the moment. And yeah, and that was the 50th. This is my 50th anniversary celebration of Tubular Bells. See, I've even got the T-shirt, which makes me a bigger fan than you, because I have the T-shirt and you don't. All right, but it doesn't matter which way you listen to it. It really doesn't matter, because we all know the best version of Tubular Bells is that 99p spunky version you got second hand in the record shop, 30 odd years ago. Everybody knows that's the best version, and that's the version you go back to. I mean, I do have another version from the Mike Oldfield boxed album, which is when they first did the first quad mixes, but I didn't bother bringing that out as well, because I thought that would have been overkill, and maybe I was flexing just a little bit too much. Don't want to flex too much. So hopefully you've enjoyed my little show and tell about Tubular Bells and the various versions that are out there, and yeah, so like you got this one. I suppose this is the ultimate, because it does have the Atmos, the 5.1, the quad, stereo. It's got all the versions, but it's not as complete as the CD and LP version that came out. There are bits missing, and that's the oddity, and it's a shame. It's a shame that it came to this, because we have, like I said, a really important album. It's 50 years old, and again, for whatever reason, Mike Oldfield's not doing anything to promote it. There's no interviews. There's no there's nothing really extra here, and there's no new set of interviews him talking about it. He did something for the BBC about 6 or 7 years ago, and you get the feeling it's just come and it's gone, and you're lucky to get the T-shirt. So yeah, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. There won't be. Will there be a 60th anniversary? Will there be a 70th? Will there be a 100th? That'll be the big question. I won't be around to see it, but it'd be interesting to know, if there'd be a 100th anniversary of Tubular Bells, or will it all be forgotten by then? Because this is what we're heading towards. The music industry, it's got a short run. We don't have these albums now, despite what they tell you. Music is not the force it used to have. I mean, this is the incredible nature of Tubular Bells, an album that, like I said, released in 1973 from a complete unknown, lasting just under 50 minutes, completely instrumental, and everybody wanted it and bought a copy, and it was in every household, and it launched 1,000 ships. It launched everything to do with Virgin, you know, and that's remarkable. You are never going to see the likes of that again. You're never going to see a person singularly, you know, bringing together a musical vision like this. You're not going to see it be so popular that it launches a whole brand. Again, it was a remarkable thing, and again, it's one of those very few albums that I can listen to over and over again and not get bored with. It's an incredible work, and yeah, it's a real shame that the 50th anniversary didn't bring together everything. You know, maybe reissue the box set with the Atmos, with whatever else they needed to do, and maybe do a big coffee table book about it, you know. But it didn't happen, and we got this kind of very fragmented release. And a t-shirt. Ooh, got a t-shirt. I'm so lucky. Look at me. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I would try and hold all of them up, but that would be silly. Though it would make a good thumbnail, wouldn't it? What do you reckon? Spread them? That's what she said. How's that? Thumbnail? How about looking kind of pissed? Really happy? Orgasmic? There could be a multitude of thumbnails there for me to crop. Thank you for watching. My name's Darren Locke. I've been talking about Tubular Bells, 50th anniversary, its impact on our culture, the importance of it, and how there will never be any likes of it again. And more importantly, I've got a t-shirt that you haven't got because I'm cooler than you. And that's the video. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and I suppose I've got to do the thing. Prog on. But I'd rather say ta-ta. Ta-ta.